welcome back to those of you who joined us last week, and hello to anyone joining us for the first time. Thank you so much for being with us. My name is Miss Iris.
And I'm Miss Amber. Last week we talked about managing emotions and the big changes that happen for everyone going through middle school. We also talked about coping with life's ups and downs and some strategies to get through the tough times. Finally, we talked about the importance of asking for help when you need it.
That's right, and we hope you found our tips helpful and practiced some of the coping skills we talked about. As we mentioned last week, throughout today we will have special guests pop in to share a little about their experience in middle school with helpful tips about what they wish they had known during their middle school years.
You are entering a time when the friends in your life become incredibly important to you. We mentioned in week 1 how exciting it can be to meet people different from you.
We love these pictures. It really gives you a hint on the good times ahead. Having the right friends can make all the difference. When I think back, I have so many great memories of my friends who made middle school so fun and exciting. However, along with good times, there may be some drama. That is totally normal, and you can expect to experience some conflict with your friends. This is because you're all figuring out who you are and trying on new ways to be in the world. It can be really difficult to navigate, and feelings can get hurt in the process.
Let's take a poll. How many of you have experienced friend drama? I have experienced friend drama a lot, some, a little, or not at all. Make sure you press the submit button so that we can read the results. This is why friends are so important. Let's see our results here. Okay, 21% say a lot, 57% say some, and 21% say a little. Yeah, absolutely. This is why the right friends, it's incredibly important. We're going to give you some share and care tips for maintaining healthy friendships. Friends can really have a positive impact on you.
And friends are like a mirror. If you don't like what you see, remember your friends are like a reflection of you. Here are 2 questions to ask yourself. What characteristics do you think are important in a friend? And what does a good friend do? We can easily name what we don't want to be within a friend, but do we take enough time to think about what we want? You can make a list or journal about the friend characteristics that are important to you. List some of the things that you think make a good friend.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in the chat bar. What are some of the things that you think are important in making new friends? I'll read some from the slide. We have acceptance, forgiving, a good listener, positive, respectful, sensitive. How about funny, generous? I see in the comments we have someone who shares loyal. Absolutely, we want our friends to be loyal. Good examples. Like attracts like. When we act in a way that matches our values, we will naturally attract people who see things the way that we do. A good friend is kind and understanding. There are some red flags that may cause you to have to evaluate if you need to shift your friend group, and this is very common in middle school. This is a really nice list of ways of what good friends do. Number 1, they accept you, flaws and all. Number 2, they lift you up and support you. Number 3, they don't judge you harshly. Number 4, they're with you through the hard times. Number 5, they're honest and a good listener. Number 6, they know just how to make you smile when it feels impossible.
That's a really good list. Here is a list of a few red flag issues that might indicate to you it's time to consider a new friend group. They get mad at you for having a different opinion. or because you have maybe different friends. They make you feel really bad about yourself when you make mistakes. And remember, we're all human, and sometimes we make, choices that we're going to regret. So a good friend is always going to understand that you are not perfect. So I wanted to share with you guys, it's very easy to think about what are the characteristics that we want in a friend, but also the things that you don't want in a friend. So I did a really quick note, like bubble map on the things that I don't want in a friend, like somebody that's mean or rude or a bully or a bad listener or someone that's very disrespectful. So it's a simple way for you to kind of put together your no's or your red flags for friends. And this could help you and remind you to make good choices when you are meeting new people and making new friends in school. So you could always make a list of things you want in a friend, but you could always make a list of things that you don't want in a friend, because it's really important to know what your no's or your red flags are.
Another great list. So let's talk about making new friends. It can be challenging, especially if you don't know anyone. As promised, we have a very special guest joining us for a quick discussion.
Hi, Amber. Thank you for having me, Amber and Iris.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So our question for you is, what was it like for you making friends in middle school?
Okay, so making friends for me in middle school was scary, especially because I was a very shy person. I recall when I started middle school, I didn't know anyone from the same track I was in. However, this one girl I had in my homeroom and in 4 other classes, she approached me and she introduced herself and asked me if she could see my class schedule. I then introduced myself and I handed her my schedule. She then pointed out that we had our classes in homeroom together. So when it came to our 5th period, I sat with her and she introduced me to all her friends, who then became my friends. And until this day, I am actually still friends with these friends from middle school.
Oh, that's so great. So that was so kind of her to do that for you. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Our next question for you is, did you ever have to deal with mean behavior from other students?
I did deal with mean behavior in middle school. I recall being called names such as like Four Eyes and Brace Face for wearing glasses and braces. At times I would try to defend myself, but I didn't really know how. I was afraid of telling an adult and, then being called a tattletale. So many times my friends would speak up and tell those who were picking on me to leave me alone.
Wow, that sounds like there were some tough moments. How did you deal with it? How did you cope?
I was able to deal with it by drawing. So I would draw a lot of cartoons. Another thing that I would do was listen to music to cope with what was going around.
What a great list of coping skills. I bet you still use those to this day, don't you?
I definitely still do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sylvia. It's so great to have different perspectives.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me again.
You bet.
Thank you, Sylvia. While we encourage staying connected with your friends, there's also a fair amount of challenges that could come with it. Here is a video of young people speaking about the benefits and the challenges of texting with friends.
I definitely say sometimes it's beneficial because you go home and you might have had an argument with your sibling or your mom and you just need to talk to your friend, or you might need help with homework or something.
Being able to always be just like a phone call or text message away from each other allows us to kind of establish a relationship that's closer.
Reaching out to the person right when you need them, so that you don't have to wait until you see them at school to talk to them. That definitely brings us closer.
Texting is like the easier alternative. Take out your phone and communicate with someone.
There are definitely things that maybe I wouldn't tell anyone in real life that I feel more comfortable telling them on social media or online, because it's not the same as saying it to someone's face as it is to text it.
I know that my friends, or not even just my friends, but my family or anybody I can talk to, I know that they are available to me.
I never really feel depressed or anything like that, just because there's always somebody to talk to and always somebody that's there for you. That's kind of a good thing about social media.
I could not imagine what it would be like if I couldn't contact them so quickly. Our lives are so integrated with social media and contacting other people that I don't think I can imagine not contacting them.
There can be an invasion of space and privacy over not just social media, but all forms of modern technology. We have each other's location 24/7.
Yes, there's been people that have contacted me for multiple times that have just been constant and annoying, that have just gone on my nerves.
If there's someone that is constantly reaching out to you and you don't want that person to be contacting you, that can be irritating and it's kind of a hassle.
I got my phone taken away from my friend texting me too much. I had to turn it off completely. I had to turn it off when I was in class because it just started making so much noise.
I've had a friend who's contacted me way too much, and one of the downsides is that I kind of avoid that friend in real life and at school, so they feel a little neglected and it kind of hinders our friendship.
There's kind of a pressure that if one of us doesn't respond or keep texting, we're gonna not talk again.
I've had a friend contact me too much to the point where I've asked them to give me some boundaries and some space. I would usually tell them in a respectful manner.
Over text, you either just flat out say it or you kind of ghost them.
I used to have a friendship where we would text nonstop. We would get to the point where we get irritated with one another. That was nonstop, where you at, where you at, where you at, what are you doing, what are you doing, why are you not hanging out with me, why are you not that? It got to the point where leave me alone.
Sometimes we could be too much part of each other's lives, and it's not really good because we're kind of taken away from our own lives because we're constantly looking at theirs.
In the beginning, some people don't understand boundaries. I would have to constantly communicate to them that I have my boundaries, even through online, through social media. I don't find it as much as a problem because I've practiced it and I've learned to get better at it.
I do believe that technology leads to boundary issues. I feel like technology has created a sense of a really tight-knitted community, but in a way it's too tight.
I feel that when we have conversations online, it kind of takes away the magic from talking face to face.
It definitely can get a little overwhelming, and it makes it difficult to hold conversations in real life because you talk about everything over social media or through your phones. And then if we do talk about something, it's normally social media related, or we have to pull out our phones to talk about it, so you don't really get to be in the moment with your friend because you're on your phone.
So helpful. That's helpful for me. From the perspective of these kids, it sounds like for them, it's just really incredible that you set boundaries. In addition to boundaries, another really important point is maintaining organization. Like that girl said, she said you can get really overwhelmed. So we asked a recent graduate of Alliance International University about this topic. Here is Miss Mayan, who is also one of our newest Share Care counselors.
So my experience in middle school around organization was basically the biggest difference between elementary and middle school is that in elementary, I was in one class. Teachers would actually come to us whenever they were to teach us something. But in middle school, a big difference is that I would have to go from class to class, and it was, instead of blocks, it was periods, which is just a bunch of classes in a day. So something that helped me stay organized was having a planner. Each subject, when I had homework, I would write it down and then highlight around the homework, around the class. And I would write every single day, when something's due, and always be mindful of due dates. And a big thing that helped me was I asked for help a lot. I asked my older siblings for help. my friends, if they were, I always wanted to like make sure we were always on the same page. So yeah. And then if I can go back in time, what I would tell my younger self, who's just starting middle school, is don't feel, like basically it's okay to cry. I think crying is a big thing that happens when you're going through changes in middle school. You're going through puberty, everything's different, new experiences, new people around, and it's stressful. So crying is okay. And I would tell myself also just be yourself, and you'll get through this time just one day at a time.
So helpful. Thanks, Mayan. Those are some great tips. Here's another one of our newest Share and Care counselors, Miss Cambria, who is a recent graduate of Cal State Long Beach.
Hi, my name is Cambria, and if I can speak to the 6th grade version of me, what would I say about coping skills? Well, when I transitioned to middle school, it was a new environment. I didn't know anyone at my school, so I was very nervous. I was very scared. Sometimes I didn't want to go to school because I didn't know who I would hang out with, who I eat at lunch with. I just didn't know anybody and didn't know what the school environment would be. So some of the things I remember was my first bus ride to school. I was very nervous, very scared, but to help me calm down on that bus ride, get into school, I listened to music, my favorite songs. I had that on repeat as I was riding to school. And also I was playing video games, so that helped me calm down very much. And I also knew that afterwards I was going to dance class, which I did while in middle school. So that would help me, looking forward to that event would help me calm down to know that this is something that I love. And this is after a hard day or a scary day, I can look forward to dance to help me calm down. Now, if I can go back to middle school, to my 6th grade self, I would tell myself that coping skills are very important to have to help us through the challenging times, the difficult times, and even happy times. Some of the coping skills that can be used at any moment is listening to music, reading, drawing. These are all things that are natural to us and that we love. So if you love playing sports, playing video games, that can be a coping skills for you. If you love to read, love to draw, that can as well be a coping skill for you. Anything that makes you feel relaxed, it takes your mind off challenging situations, those can be things to help you during those difficult times. Thank you.
That's sweet. For our final thought today, pay attention in your friend groups for when it's time to walk away. If you see something, say something. Bullying and discrimination happens. You can be an advocate for change.
Absolutely. And we'll be providing some links on the chat box in regards to different resources and organizations on anti-bullying and youth activism, and that's going to be provided to you as well. These are incredible organizations that offer support to anyone who's being discriminated against for being different or being bullied, or if you want to learn more about how to be an advocate against violence and for justice in your community.
Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us. I can't believe it's coming to an end. This workshop series was a first from the Share and Care program, and we hope to have many more.
Absolutely. And you have been here for 3 webinars, and we are very excited for you to start this new stage in your life. Our final statement to you is don't give up, hang in there, and have a great school year.
Yes, good luck. It has been so great having you here. See ya.